In just a matter of hours, we could find out if the Boy Scouts will decide to end its national ban on gay members. The debate on the issue has raged in the past week, and conservative voices named a wide range of concerns about allowing gays and lesbians into the Boy Scouts.
Do parents really want to allow their teenage boys to go on campouts with men who are attracted to the same sex? They wouldn't let their girls go on campouts with men who are attracted to women.
Is that right for Boy Scouts who are out wanting to learn the basic tenets of scouting to have to worry about whether or not the boy in the tent with them is attracted to them? Is that right?
I would not have put my son in a troop with an openly gay leader or an openly atheist leader.
Scouting is about teaching a substantial amount of life lessons. Sexuality is not one of them.
Joining me to talk about these concerns, psychologists Catherine Smerling and Dale Atkins. Welcome to both of you.
Hello. Thank you.
Catherine, I want to start with you. When you hear these kinds of concerns, if someone were sitting on the couch, let's say, what would you say to them?
I would say that it's mainly a fear of the unknown. There is a fear that one experiences when they don't know exactly what is behind the door. You have to remember, Carol, that the Boy Scouts were founded in 1910, before women were allowed to vote, during the era of Teddy Roosevelt, when their motto, be prepared and be resilient and be ready for self-sufficiency, was appropriate for that time and age. And now we're in 2013, where we have world communication and where we talk about things that we did not talk about before, and there is an openness. I don't believe that sexuality has anything to do with your ability to be a leader, your ability to instill in young boys the idea that they should be self-sufficient and responsible and good citizens. Sexuality is aside from all of that. And I think that we have to understand the genesis of the Boy Scouts, where it came from, and where we are today.
And Dale, what about the concern that a boy sleeping in a tent with another boy has to worry now that that boy might be attracted to him?
You know, it's very interesting, and I want to just mention that I agree with what Dr. Smerling said. I really believe that there is this, when we're talking about children growing up, they go through their own sexual identity search, but we are not talking about sexuality, really, when we're talking about scouting. And what we're really talking about is teaching kids to be good leaders and to be ethical and to make good choices. And we are not talking about sexuality. When someone is bunking with somebody else in the tent, they are friends. They are talking about issues having to do with what happened during the day, what they're going to do the next day. Friends can be of different sexual orientations. Boys and girls can be friends. They can be caring partners for each other as friends. I think that there is this fear that people believe that if someone is of a different sexual orientation, they are going to in some way be compromised. Their own sexuality is going to be compromised. And this just isn't the case. This just isn't proven by any research.
Because that is a big fear, that if a child is exposed to homosexuality, that child might think to himself, well, maybe I'm gay too.
Well, in our culture, many of us do feel that we are afraid of that which we don't know, as Dr. Smerling said. However, the issue is more about, well, maybe I am gay. This is a fear that a lot of kids have. It's actually not even a fear they have, although in our society we make it a fear. It's a questioning of who I am. And I think the questions really need to be discussed and really opened up with family members, and not with the Scouts. Children need to be able to have experiences with one another where they are learning about being good people, responsible people, ethical people, caring, trustworthy, and tolerant. And I'm concerned about what the straight kids are learning about exclusion of anybody rather than inclusion.
Right. And Catherine, another concern. I want to get into this concern because I think this is important. Many conservatives, religious conservatives, say that they're worried that these gay scoutmasters are more likely to molest children than straight scoutmasters. I'm sure you've studied this issue, Catherine. What do you think? What is the truth?
Well, there is no truth to that at all, because there used to be a feeling that if you were gay, if you were homosexual, that it was contagious. It was like a disease. And if you were with someone who was gay, you would contract that as well. Well, we know now that it's more than likely that it's going to be the hard drive that determines whether you're gay or not. And there is no way that people push being gay on other people when they're taught tolerance and inclusion and love, responsibility, all the things that the Scouts stand for. This is teaching them that leaders cannot be gay or homosexual, which we know now today in today's world in 2013 is absolutely not true. That sexuality has nothing to do with whether you are a prominent leader and you have taught people good values and you can communicate those good values. And that's what the Boy Scouts stand for. And they need to look at their genesis and the context of where they are today and where they were in 1910 when it was just started.
Well, I appreciate the passionate conversation. I got to wrap this up. We'll see what the Boy Scouts do later today. Catherine Smerling and Dale Atkins, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're
It was
welcome.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.